This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the New Orleans Investment Conference 2016. I have with me Julien Francois from Western Copper and Gold. It's a publicly traded company. It's on the NYSE market in New York, and the symbol is WRN. It's also on the Toronto Stock Exchange symbol WRN. So you'll find it under WRN wherever you look. Welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelley. Thanks for having me on.
It's good to have you. Let's get an overview of the company first, and then we'll go from there.
Right, well, Western Copper and Gold, as you mentioned, trades on Toronto and NYSE MKT under the symbol WRN. We are advancing one of the largest undeveloped copper gold deposits in Canada. It's a very well advanced project so far, feasibility study stage. Currently working towards our permits and advancing other aspects of the project.
So you know what you've got, and now you're setting up to do mining. Am I correct?
That's right. We're slowly advancing it to the production stage. Right now, we're focusing on the permitting and also on strategic investments to help us get to that next stage.
Let's talk about the resource, if you would. Please explain.
It's a phenomenal resource and also a very unique resource. It's 1 billion tons of reserves at about a 0.5% copper equivalent. That gives us 9 million ounces of gold and 4.5 billion pounds of copper. And that's what I meant by the deposit being somewhat unique. At this stage, and these commodity prices, we get half our revenue from gold and half from copper.
Where in Canada is the territory located?
Well, that's a good question. We are based in Yukon Territory in Canada. And it's a territory with lots going on. I mean, it's a prolific mining district in terms of resources, and lots of exciting things going on. Next door, Corp just acquired the Kaminak project. That project is around 23 kilometers from our project, and we actually have claims that abut, so very close to us. So very exciting things going on.
Based on your projected production costs, how are you affected by the price of the commodities today?
Well, the casino project is very robust, economically speaking. I mentioned it's at feasibility study stage, and so it's very well advanced. Interestingly enough, we've looked at the economics and how they flow with spot prices for the last 2-3 years. And every month we update them. The project is always economic, and there's a number of reasons for that. One is the split between copper and gold. They tend to move sometimes in opposite directions, and then we're somewhat hedged against commodity moves with being in Canada. The Canadian dollar really helps to hedge against lower commodity prices that we've seen recently. We have great economics, 1.6 billion NPV. Almost 20% internal rate of return at these prices.
So let's start to find out a little bit more about management, the geo, a little bit of the team behind you.
Right. So the history behind Western Copper and Gold, 10 years ago, we spun out from Western Silver Corp, which was acquired by Glamis at the time. Now our project from Western Silver is now in Goldcorp's hand, Penasquito project. And a lot of the management team from that company came over to Western Copper and Gold and is still with it. Dale Corman, our executive chairman, has been in the business for 20 or 30 years. He was key in that deal with Glamis and is still with us. And secondly, we have Paul Westsells, our president and chief executive officer. He's got over 20 years of mining industry experience. He's a PhD metallurgist great experience on that side from a technical point of view. And then the guy who brings all the engineering together, Cameron Brown, our VP of Engineering, has been building mines all over the world, and large mines like this one, like Los Pelambres and others when he worked for Bechtel. So very, very experienced management group. I've been with the group also for 10 years. I was with the Western Silver team as well. So we have lots of deal experience, and we're hoping to have another success here with Western Copper.
So it sounds to me like you're really a development company going to become a production company in this particular instance.
That's how we're currently going. We've doubled the resource since we've acquired the project, done a couple pre-feasibility studies, a feasibility study, and we've submitted our permit applications. And so the next stage is permits, finding strategic partners to advance this massive project.
Okay, Julien, I just want to make sure, is there anything I missed?
Well, I don't think we missed anything, but I'll just go over some of the key points. We have a massive deposit. Like I mentioned, 4.5 billion pounds of copper in reserve, 9 million ounces of gold. Very strong economic project that's been well advanced past the feasibility study stage. It's got great returns, low production costs. We were actually ranked by Goldman Sachs in their latest global copper report as the #1 lowest cost project in their entire coverage universe. So good, stable jurisdiction in the Yukon, very mining friendly. So it's a good project, and we hope to keep moving it ahead.
Julien, let's get your website out there for our investor audience, if you would.
Our website address is westerncopperandgold.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Julien Francois, Western Copper and Gold. It's a publicly traded company, WRN on the NYSE market and WRN on the Toronto Stock Exchange. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the New Orleans Investment Conference 2016. Julien, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, Shelley.
My pleasure.